Good morning and welcome to the weekly virtual press conference with UTSA men's basketball head coach Austin Claunch. The Roadrunners coming off of a very busy week, 3 games deep on during Thanksgiving week, and heading into December with a 4-4 record. Uh, Coach Claunch, could you get us started on talking about what you've seen from the Roadrunners over the last week and over the past couple weeks, and what we've got ahead on the schedule this week, heading to Alabama, 12th ranked Alabama in Tuscaloosa?
Yeah, last week obviously went to Jacksonville, played 2 games out there, had a home game, of course, against South Alabama. We talked a lot leading up to these 3 games about, quite frankly, we felt these were 3 conference level games. I mean, you look at these team schedules and who they've played and kind of, just they've played some teams in our league close listen, we went 1-2, in Jacksonville. I thought we guarded really well in Jacksonville. Huge win against Georgia Southern to finish that out. Didn't play well offensively against Abilene Christian, but I thought we guarded well enough to a way that we want to, guard moving forward. And then, against South Alabama, just didn't, obviously, they get away from us in the second half. We did not play well enough to win. Offensively, didn't make enough shots, didn't puncture the zone enough, and didn't guard them well. As well as we guarded in Jacksonville, we did not guard them well the other day. I think the biggest thing as we move forward, we've got to really start to hone in on our offensive identity, the shots we want to take. I think defensively we have an understanding. We just have to do it better, more consistently. I think that's an improvement from last year. Our offense now has got to start to catch up in regards to the shots that we want to take. And as you just said, Mike, as we move forward, we have 4 really, really, really tough games before Christmas, which is what we wanted. We want to challenge ourselves. We want to play some of the best programs and players and teams and coaches in the country, and we certainly have that over the next 4 games. And all of it's going to prepare us, for conference play. I think this American is wide open, and I love our group's mentality and our spirit, but we got to play better basketball. And this next couple of weeks before Christmas is a good opportunity to do that.
Obviously, you've got a big game on the horizon this weekend, but you've also got a few days off from being directly in competition for the first time really since the beginning of the season. How much developmental time can you take during this week to be able to get everything going the direction that you wanted to for the remainder of the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice that we have a week to prepare. Then we have another almost full week to prepare. And practice is obviously where we've got to make strides. As you said, it's not just working necessarily on team things, but player development and player improvement. Those are things that we've really got to hone in on and improve as the season continues to wear on, especially this time of December when classes are about to finish and you have a little bit more time to get with these guys and improve on some individual aspects of their game that are going to help our team moving forward.
As to this weekend specifically, you're obviously going to familiar ground. You've seen the environment there at Coleman Coliseum, and this is going to be a big stage for a lot of these guys. Looking at Alabama this year, now 12th ranked this week, what exactly are the Roadrunners in for in facing this type of team and what Alabama brings to the court?
Well, obviously they play one of the fastest tempos in the country. They're known for shooting a lot of threes, but I'll tell you what, man, they really kill you at the rim. They're elite from 2. They don't miss a lot of 2-point field goals because they take such high percentage shots. And then defensively this year they're much improved. And obviously they're Coach Oates is one of the best coaches in the country, and they've got a ton of talent. Starts from their point guard position, with LeBaron Philon, but they've got a lot of guys that can score the ball with Holloway and Reitzel. Bo Bowman's had a good year for them. He gives them versatility in that front court. They're just a really good team. They're a really good team. I think they're probably better in 12. They've played the toughest schedule in the country. They're really battle tested. They've got another tough one tomorrow against Clemson before they play us. So we'll be prepared. We got a good practice today. We got a good plan for the rest of the week, and we're excited to get there and compete.
now through a month into the season, I think there are some people that have statistically stood out from a coach's perspective. Who are some players that have really like brought a lot to the table that you are very excited about what they're bringing to the Roadrunners this year?
I think Jameer Simpson's had a great season, shooting 40% from three, scoring. His effective field goal percentage is above 50%. Obviously Bob Jai had a huge game at Denver. He's someone who can impact the game in a lot of different ways on both sides of the floor. I really like our young newcomers. We're playing three freshmen. And they all bring different things, to the game. Of course, Austin Nunez with his pace, and what he's able to get us and getting to the paint, creating pressure defensively. I mean, I could go across the board, honestly, with all of our guys. Brent Moss. You think about his performances and our wins, specifically against Georgia Southern, and that's what I love about this group. It's just, I think, the collective. And the spirit and they want to improve, and they want to do it for each other. So, quite frankly, we've left, I think, some meat, on the bone a little bit, and listen, we played really good teams. I mean, we tried to put together the toughest schedule, in UTSA basketball history, and it's got to be up there. I mean, you look at the success at SIUE, even the teams we've beaten. Denver turns around and they get a big road win. SIUE, Texas State. All these teams. These are tough games, and they're going to prepare us for the games that we have to win. You want to win all of them. The reality is, we've got to show up and set a standard for who we are as UTSA basketball. And when we get back from Christmas, we got to make sure that we're playing our best ball to go compete for a championship.
All right. That probably will wrap us up for the day. Thank you, Coach, for joining us this morning. We've got a big one coming up in Tuscaloosa, and then we'll be back on the regular press conference schedule expectedly next week before the Roadrunners head to Colorado with USC right behind it, and then circle back for the final home game of the 2025 calendar year against Seattle on the 22nd. Thank you again, Coach, and we'll see you next time.
Yep, no problem. Birds up.